Welcome back to Newsmaker Live. We have a call on the line. Good evening, caller. Thank you very much for holding.
Good evening, Clinton.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, David. Ayodele.
Good evening.
Good evening.
First of all, Clinton, I want to agree with Ayodele that although the Republicans were voted in terms of, have the majority in terms of House seats, and I think that this is largely because, and that's my opinion, that whilst Americans voted to give Obama another 4 years, they also wanted to keep the checks and balances in terms of the system intact. Now, having said that, the Republicans, and again, that's my opinion, I don't think they'll take the huge risk of the American people continuing to see them or perceive them as being the party of no. Because, look, this fiscal cliff that they're talking about, as David explained, with early next year in January, if something is not done to avert that, the huge, the huge taxes that are going to come into play, as well as a huge amount of government money being pulled back in terms of government spending. I don't think that they want to get into that. I don't think that they want, and look, I don't think the American people are going to tolerate the leaders whom they want to properly represent them continuing to get into this kind of fight. Now, the other thing, David, you spoke earlier about something to do with what is it now? Ah, gosh, it's not I'm coming now. But I want to talk about the lessons that this thing has for us. Look, guys, America is a huge country with all kinds of financial, technological, human resources. I mean, stuff that we cannot even dream about having. Now, whilst America might think, especially American leaders might think, look, we've been elected to do this, we've been elected to do that, whether or not we have gridlock here, there, and everywhere. They might figure, look, we have the resources that we can do that and still get away with it. For us here in St. Lucia and in the region, we don't have that type of luxury. So the type of stuff we see happening politically, where this side cannot agree with that side, I mean, we elect politicians to work in our own best interest, and it appears to us that when they get in there, it is like they deal with their own self-interest rather than the interest of the people as a whole. I think it is high time that we as a people, looking at what is happening in America, begin to deal with that. And I think one of the ways that we can start, David, is by looking at this constitutional reform that that we had so many discussions on, and which I think is now with the political leaders. Isn't that so, David?
That's correct. Yes.
I think we can start there. But as a people, we need to begin to apply more pressure. And when I say more pressure, I think this must of necessity come from let me call them independents, as the Americans call them, people who are not affiliated to whether Labour or UWP, so that because I believe it is these people who will have the real say in terms of determining what the future is for us. Thanks.
All right. Thanks a lot, caller.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree, and I like the point the caller made about holding politicians or our leaders, representatives accountable. But the way to do that, Clinton, is to be informed, is to be engaged, is to realize that politics is not just about bread and butter or economic survival. Obviously, that's a big part of things, but it's also about values and things like transparency and integrity. You see, that's some of the things I think came out of this election with Americans, because Romney was seen as a flip-flopper, not really, as they would say, having a political core. So yes, and I think as a people, St. Lucians and the wider Caribbean region, our political maturity, I'm hoping we're beginning to grow from that.
And we need to stop fear and recrimination, because I mean, a lot of people are afraid, just afraid of politicians, you know.
Maybe unduly too.
If they say, you know, GWEC, then, you know, they'll be discriminated against and that kind of thing. Yes, there is discrimination. Yes, there is victimization. But I think we put too much stock in it, and then it's crippling our entire society. I made that point to you, ayodele, earlier on, that I heard a radio announcer saying, oh, I'm so happy, you know, I'm praying for Obama and I want Obama to win, you know, expressing an opinion as far as the U.S. election. But one would not dare to express such an opinion locally. And why not? If that's what you believe, if that's how you feel, it is your right. It is your democratic right
we're a
to
smaller
vote.
Society,
we are a smaller society. I mean, you not go that far out. But then, you know, once you express an opinion, then you're left or right. Exactly, and that's our biggest problem.
I don't know. I mean, to me, I'm hearing more and more people expressing their views. To me, every day, if I listen to these talk shows, people are okay to be identified. You know, people know their certain people's voices, and
but it's the same people, though. I mean, I know who are already polarized. You know, they're either one side or the other.
Which is a fair point.
That might be true. That might be true. I agree with the general point you're making. It's true. We do need to raise our standards. Certainly, ayodele is very right. You know, about the way that election last night showed that Americans, despite how deeply divided they are, despite how crazy crazy in inverted commas, the Republican Party is appearing, they're still able to make intelligent, rational decisions that are based on, you know, reasonable things. Whereas when you think about some of the elections that we've had, I mean, one wonders, you know, what are people thinking?
What are we basing our decisions on?
Hello.
We have a call on the line. Good evening, caller. Please go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Hello, Clinton.
Yes, sir.
This is Michael Chancellor here. I just want to say that it's an excellent show. Is it Mr. Cox who's the one talking there? Yeah. He's a very knowledgeable gentleman. I agree with most of what he had to say. But one little thought I have in mind is that if you notice, Mr. Obama has been very close to President Clinton, the former Prime Minister, President of the United States. And I honestly believe that he will work together with him to try to cross that line and hopefully get some of those bills passed, because he has to leave a legacy, and he knows what they have done to him. And honestly, that is the route they're going to take, and I'm looking forward to some great improvement this time around. And I just want to say to you, it's an excellent show, and keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your contribution.
Mr. Shastri makes a good point, because Obama was very I'm glad he raised it. And David
we forgot that.
The consummate strategist.
Yes, in terms of bringing Clinton in, that made a big difference, you know.
The very first person that Obama called after he spoke to Romney was Bill Clinton. And that says a lot. Because he didn't call, you know, Hillary Clinton, he didn't call any of his surrogates. He called Bill Clinton. And that says, although they may not say it publicly, that says, at least to me, that as far as Obama's concerned, he recognizes that he owes a large debt to Clinton. Now, Mr. Shastri raises an excellent point. If Obama leverages that while he's governing, particularly when it comes to trying to, not necessarily, he wouldn't want to do it in an overt way, because that would diminish his own prestige as president. But if he's able to use Clinton in a strategic way to try to build some bridges, to try to get some things through, it could make a world of difference. And I think there's every sign, there's every indication that he will do so. And at least on that ground, I think there's certainly some room to be optimistic. Let me just say finally on this point, the interesting thing about this is, we have Hillary Clinton saying she's no longer going to be serving as Secretary of State.
Right.
She's going to take a break. But it's widely believed
that she's going to
widely
run.
believed that she's going to run in 2016.
Yes, of course.
And we can already see that Obama has a debt. I mean,
Yes.
so I can see if she does run, she's healthy and she does run. We will see a reversal of what we've seen in this 2012 campaign. In 2016, we will see Obama speaking at the convention for candidate
the
Clinton.
first female president
what
of America.
What about Michelle?
Running?
Well, I mean,
No,
probably she's too black.
Yeah.
You know, because
Listen,
she's
Clinton, she's not going to. Okay?
she's really black. You know, and
Listen, I don't want to talk about Michelle.
You know,
I like Obama, but the only thing about Obama, I mean, if I haven't met Michelle, I might try to steal her from Obama. So the only thing about Barack that he's got to worry.
Well, she's black there too. Yes. No, but she's I mean, super intelligent.
Listen,
This woman,
that woman,
when you had the
more
phrase
popular,
that
she's the
behind,
most popular member of his administration.
when you had that behind every good man, there's a strong woman.
Well,
I mean,
beside
Obama
these days.
epitomizes that.
Yeah.
You know, the Obamas.
80% approval rating for Michelle Obama
Man,
as a member of
she's
his
great.
just
but funny, I
administration.
don't see her as a political animal.
I
don't see her that way.
I don't see her
Yes.
accepting any BS. So she'll tell you straight.
yeah,
you know
I
what?
don't see her
That's
doing-
nonsense.
yeah,
So the country will
yeah.
not go anywhere because Michelle will just knock people.
It won't work. I'm more seeing Hillary Clinton.
It'll happen soon if it happens.
Yeah. Michelle, not Michelle, Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
She's somewhat like that, but she's white.
Yes.
She's rich. She's establishment.
Yeah, and she,
more or
and she
less.
understands Washington, and she's
Right,
she's
exactly.
a veteran. Yes,
Exactly.
Yes, I more see
So
that,
she can
more
she
that
can fit in
happening.
better.
Yeah, Michelle. No, I
You
don't
know,
think
but
so.
yeah, she'll be making a run. I think she has not given up her aspiration to become
The
U.S. president.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I hope so. I'm looking forward to another President Clinton.
Well, ayodele, David, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to have you. Very interesting and intellectual discussion on the U.S. presidential election. I mean, we need to do that for our local elections as well. So next time, I'll find you guys wherever you are. I'll come get you in New York. Come and get you in that legal office, wherever it is, David. And yeah, we need to do that. I really enjoy that. I enjoy politics. I enjoy discussing politics.
I was glued to CNN for the last year, and I didn't go to sleep until about 4 o'clock this morning. So
Right.
this election just captivated.
Yes, it was
It's been a
important
real
on all
pleasure.
kinds of levels.
Yeah.
But thanks for having me, Clinton.
No, it
Same
was
here.
my pleasure. It was my pleasure. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining us for the program. Those of you who called in, thank you for making our program what it was. Just a note for tomorrow, Delia Dolo will be here live tomorrow for the Dolo Factor Live. She discusses the responsibilities of a man. Do you believe crime, poverty, lack of education, and child abuse can be avoided if the men in the family are responsible and virtuous? Join Delia and her guests, Father Linus Clovis and Gregory Clovis from Family Life International, as they discuss whether men who engage in crime, infidelity, etc., and ultimately causing emotional turmoil to the family, are not setting a respectable example. So Delia Dolo tomorrow live, 8:30 p.m., Dolo Factor Live. Well, that's all the time we have. Again, thank you very much. We'll see you again next week at the same time for another program. But before then, we'll be here on Saturday night, God willing, for the Press Club, where, of course, we'll discuss more of the U.S. presidential elections and also other developments in St. Lucia. Until then, so long.